I'm Dave Collins with cleverhiker.com. In this episode, we're going to take a look at how to pack a lightweight backpack. When you're on the trail, your backpack is going to hold everything that you need to sustain yourself for days or even weeks in the wilderness. How you pack up all those items on a daily basis is very important for both efficiency and enjoyment. Packing your bag poorly can cause painful poking in your back or a lopsided backpack, which will be uncomfortable while you hike. Also, a poorly packed bag can lead to lots of wasted time. Having to dump out most of the contents of your bag to find an item that's on the bottom of your pack can be quite annoying. After you've done that a few times, just like all experienced backpackers have, you'll quickly develop a system for packing your bag efficiently. In general, carrying light loads and minimizing the amount of gear that you bring on the trail will make packing your bag easier. Every experienced backpacker has their own way of packing their backpack. The more practice you get, the better you'll become at packing your bag in a way that best fits your style. When you get really good at it, you know where every item is in your bag. You'll be able to pack up very quickly, and you'll rarely have to unload gear to pull out an item from the bottom of your pack. There's a few general rules about packing your bag. Use your hip belt pockets or shoulder strap pockets for items that you're going to need during your hike. Items that you won't need until camp should be packed in the bottom of your main compartment, where items that you might need during the day should be packed towards the top. Heavier items should generally be placed closer to your back, where lighter items should be placed farther away. You always want to keep your stove fuel away from your food and try and pack your bag evenly so that one side isn't heavier than the other. Here's an example of how I would typically pack my bag for a 3 to 5 day backpacking trip. I'll generally start out by packing my hip belt pockets and my shoulder strap pouch. These pockets are always easily accessible, so they're a great place to put small, important items that you'll need throughout the day. In one hip belt pocket, I'll put a few bars and some small snacks because it's important to eat lots of small meals while you hike. In my other hip belt pocket, I'll put sunscreen and lip balm, which I use almost every day. I also will put my knife, a small lighter, and my headlamp to make them all easy to find. Depending on the trip and if I have room, I might also carry my compass, bug spray, and hand sanitizer in my hip belt pockets. I use my shoulder strap pouch to hold my camera and my sunglasses, which I also use constantly throughout the day. My shoulder strap pouch is easy to access with two hands, making it great for holding my camera, and it's also more protected than my hip belt pockets, because my hip pockets rest on the ground when I put my pack down, but my shoulder strap pouch is always suspended. The next area that I pack is the main body of my backpack. I usually start by putting my sleeping bag in first because I won't need it until I get to camp. You should consider leaving your sleeping bag stuff sack at home because you won't need it on your trip, and you can actually save a little room in your backpack if you stuff your sleeping bag in the bottom without it. Next, you'll want to continue packing your bag with items that you won't need until you get to camp. Your sleeping pad, your cook pot and stove, and your shelter are good items to go in next. Your poles and your tent stakes can go in the outside pockets of your bag for convenience. And if my shelter is wet, I'll probably put it in the outside mesh pocket of my bag to keep my other gear from getting wet and to also help it dry out during the day. The next items that I generally pack in my bag are my puffy coat and my extra clothes bag, which I usually won't need until I get to camp. If the weather looks nice, I'll also put my raincoat in now, but if it looks like it might rain, then I'll leave my raincoat towards the top of my pack. Next, I'll put in my food bag, which I'll have to pull out for lunch, but there won't be too much gear above it. If you put your food bag on the very top of your pack, the sun hitting your backpack will probably warm it up and some items may melt. If you're hiking with a partner, you could consider breaking up your food bag into dinner and breakfast in one bag and lunch and snacks in the other. That way, whoever's carrying the dinner and breakfast bag can pack it low in your pack because you'll only need it in camp. The last thing I put in my pack is a small stuff sack filled with items that I might need throughout the day, like my first aid kit, toiletries, duct tape, or Ziploc bags. The last area that I pack is my mesh outer pocket and my water bottle holders. Your mesh outer pocket is a good place to put items that you'll want easily accessible, but might not need all the time while hiking, or might be too big to fit in your hip pockets. It's also a great place to put wet items that you'd like to dry out while hiking, like your shelter or wet clothing. I usually put my map in a waterproof case in my back mesh pocket while I hike. If I'm hiking with a partner, they can easily grab it out. And if I'm not, I can undo one strap and swing my bag around to grab it quickly while I'm hiking. I also put my water filter in my back mesh pocket for easy access on quick stops. I'll also put a bag for trash, ground sheet for my tent, my hand sanitizer, and toilet paper in my back mesh pocket, so they're all easily accessible. Many ultralight bags also have external loops that'll be great for carrying your trekking poles or an ice axe when it's not in use. For water, I rarely find that I need to carry more than 3 or 4 liters when I hike, so I always just use lightweight plastic bottles that I put in my water holsters on the outside of my pack. If I'll be camping at a dry campsite or hiking on a long dry stretch, I'll fill up my entire water supply and then drink lots of water at the last source before hiking out. Some hikers prefer to use water bladders when they hike, and if this is your style, make sure you're careful about how you pack it in your bag. You want to keep it away from any sharp objects and make sure that it doesn't spring any leaks. When you're done packing your bag, make sure you tighten any compression straps that seem like they might be loose to pull the weight of your bag closer to your back. Always avoid hanging any extra items on the outside of your pack. They'll sway from side to side while you hike, which can throw off your balance, cause unwanted noise, and could snag on trees or brush. Now that your bag is packed efficiently, you're ready for a great day on the trail. I'm Dave Collins with CleverHiker.com. Hike light, hike smart, and have fun.